All right, so whoa, take it back. Woo! When's that? Okay. All right, so in this episode, we're going to be talking about Disney Plus. So hang tight. After the music, we're going to get started. All right, so we're here with another episode of the Park Hopper Show with Jenna and Paul, and today we are going to talk about the majesty of the Disney Plus video app service streaming thing on your television. So before we get started with that, though, I would like to say we are doing Disney Plus because there's not a lot of big, exciting news to the vacation side of Disney, but there are two things. One from each of our families that we're excited that are coming back soon. Club Cool, the route are excited. If you ever go to Disney and you think this place is too clean, I want a sticky floor and some gross soda, Club Cool is coming back. It's my daughter Addie's favorite thing, and it is disgusting, but it's coming back. And Yeehaw Bob is coming back.
Yay.
And hooray for the Rayleys and their favorite person. So,
yes.
With that out of the way, Jenna, what do you think about Disney Plus overall?
I like it.
Well, hot take it.
Actually, we do have Amazon Prime, but other than that, it's the only streaming service we have now.
Oh, well, how about that? So we have.
It's all we need.
We've got the Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
We have Peacock now. We've got Disney Plus, and we have HBO Max, which
we do have HBO Max because it came with our cell service or something.
Okay, well, you're cool HBO cell phones. That's fun. Well, I would say Amazon is kind of, you go to Walmart when you're in college late at night, and you're like, I need a bunch of stuff. Ooh, what is this big metal bin full of DVDs?
Oh.
And you're like, look at all these movies I've never heard of, but they're so cheap. That is Amazon Prime on your television because there's like 3 or 4 movies you've heard of, and then there's a vast wasteland of content that no one's ever heard of. But some of it's probably fine. Somebody spent a lot of time and effort putting those movies together, but who knows? Because they're just a lot of them are junk. I like HBO just because it's got real movies. I could do without Netflix probably, but I would say quality for quality, pound for pound, Disney Plus has got the best. Everything on it is hits. It's hits and hits and hits. So
old and new.
Yes.
That's what I like.
Well, so my daughter likes to make fun of how old I am. But I tell her, what is Disney Plus now? $8 a month? Is that right?
That's what it was, I guess.
It's roughly $100 for a year, but $8 a month. When we were kids, we would rent on Friday night. You go to the video store, $5 for a video. You could watch it that night. And you had to bring it back the next day. You had to rewind it, and you had to get it in. It wasn't HD, and it was something else. It was more than half the price for every Disney movie that's ever been made. So that seems, well, most of the Disney movies that have ever been made, not any of the questionable ones that are locked in the back of the vault. But that's okay. So you can get your bootleg.
You still have all your VHSs?
I have several. Yeah, I have more than I'm going to admit on TV because this is going out live to the masses on television. Yeah.
So do you make your kids watch them and rewind them?
No, my kids wouldn't watch a VHS tape. They won't put a DVD in. They're not going to watch it. We really got to the point where we're like, well, that went off of streaming, and I said, well, we have it on DVD. Oh.
So much work.
And now, since we've moved, we don't even have a DVD player plugged into a television. So
right.
I have a bootleg Song of the South DVD that I've not got to watch yet because I still haven't plugged in a DVD player. So, but why wouldn't you have all of the entertainment of Disney Plus?
Yay.
Well, so I had some notes on here. Now you acted like you haven't seen a lot of stuff on there, but your whole family watched Star Wars, the Skywalker saga.
So we did get our money's worth on that for
Yeah.
sure, because last year before we went to Disneyland and Star Wars Land was opening, we had not.
He's talking about Batu.
Thank you. Yes, before Batu opened.
I'm gonna think about something. Yes.
So we, over that Christmas break, we binged all the Star Wars movies. And so we started with the originals. So that was nice that they had all the originals on there and the new ones and the newest ones.
Yeah.
And then I think that was the time that the brand new one was coming out. So we finished by going to see that one in the theater.
Have you seen Rogue One?
Was that like one of the off ones?
Yeah.
We did. I think we saw that one. We didn't see all of the off ones, but we saw that one.
Okay.
And that was when, remember my story of my popcorn bucket at the movie.
Oh yeah. I love this popcorn bucket.
My Millennium Falcon popcorn bucket spilled everywhere at the movie.
That's so funny.
And my family ran off.
Yeah.
So yes, we really enjoyed that. And then of course we got into The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And we were completely addicted to that. We couldn't stop watching it. And then it was like, okay, the next episode will be next Christmas. We were devastated. And now we're trying to watch some of the Marvels. So we've watched a few of them.
Yeah.
We're not as into them as the Star Wars, though.
Well, see, I would say I was a big Star Wars nerd as a child. I don't like the ones that came out when we were in high school.
Uh-huh.
I don't like those at all. And the new ones are good, but I don't love The Mandalorian. I'm the only person I know that doesn't love that show.
Really?
Oh, it just drags.
Oh, we were really into it.
I like Grogu,
Yes.
Baby Yoda to you people who don't know. He seems pretty fun, but
Now, when you're in Disney World, when they won't call him by name, they'll call him the child.
yeah,
They don't know if you've seen it or not.
Yeah, I've seen the pajamas that just say the child, and I'm like, what does it even mean? When I was in high school, they wanted our song at prom to be Garth Brooks' The Dance, but it was such a stupid name, they didn't want to put it on all of the things, so it didn't win. Because more people wanted that, but we said we can't call our senior dance The Dance. It looks bad on all of the things we give them. So the child is a stupid thing to put on pajamas. Just call him Baby Yoda and quote. We know what you're doing. That's Baby Yoda. So
with a wink face.
With you, yeah, that would be fine. That's an extreme wink. My goodness, my whole face. That's weird. Yeah, so Marvel, I said I didn't love a lot of those movies, but then I went back through and I think I like a lot of them. I've seen all of them but Ant-Man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There's so many.
There's like 15.
Okay.
Maybe 20, I don't know.
Okay.
But they're all some of them are really good and some of them are they're all right. But there's no like terrible ones. The Ant-Man just seems kind of slow and I don't really care about what he's doing. He's small and he's big, who cares? And that's weird because it's Paul Rudd. And if there was a male version of the Amy Adams story for last week, it would be Paul Rudd. So you got to go back to the archives.
Now for you or Nikki?
No, for me. Either one.
Okay.
It's fine.
If
it was her, I'd understand. I'd be like,
Go on.
All right. So anyway, I don't know. Those movies don't do it for me though. But then I lost where I was going with that. Oh, the Spider-Man ones aren't on there because that's a Sony thing. It's real nerdy. But the new Spider-Man is Sony, but it's in the Marvel universe. So it's got Doctor Strange, and he's doing all his fun stuff. Okay. Have you seen you've seen The Mandalorian? Have you seen Loki? Did you watch all that yet?
No. Remember, I tried one episode and I was like,
Loki was so good. It was my favorite.
I know.
We
probably need to go back and try that again.
Yeah. Owen Wilson, man, he's good. He's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Woven it up. He's old now, older. Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, but Disney Plus is the way to go. So you didn't really care for WandaVision either, did you?
My family loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a few of the episodes and it wasn't my favorite. But then again, I didn't have any Marvel appreciation. Maybe going back now.
No, you would.
I know the story.
It won't help.
And then the new
because those two are from arguably the worst of the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
I rewatched it when WandaVision came out just to get the backstory, and I said, this movie, this show. They make these little shows for free, and the shows are kind of like a commercial for the next big thing. Because now I'm like all in on whatever they're up to, even though who knows what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there another? Are they put more out?
More what?
WandaVisions?
No, I don't. There shouldn't be. That story was told. I mean, they might try to because people love it, but it would be weird. It wouldn't be the same.
Well, and that's kind of like The Mandalorian. There's not much. They can't really go anywhere else with it. So I'm curious.
No spoilers. I know how it ends, but it shouldn't. There shouldn't be more, but there might be. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard rumors that really Grogu's not going to play much of a part.
Well, then they can just cancel it now.
Exactly.
Let's be honest, the other guy's cool, but it's fine. We're good without him. Although,
and then
The Mandalorian it just looks cool. That's why people like it, because that's why it got made, because Boba Fett, pardon me while I get real geeky here, he was barely even in the original trilogy, and they added extra little scenes of him.
Okay.
He essentially died after doing nothing but looking cool. And then people were like, that guy's awesome. And then the toys you could mail away and win, or you have to get proofs of purchase to mail away and get a little Boba Fett toy that shot a little thing. And those things are real valuable now.
That's funny.
Because it was before people collected everything that came out, much like my junk shelf I showed you earlier. So, yeah. But there's not just, people get lost with the nerdy stuff. Pixar stuff on there is mostly really great.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of what do you watch on the Disney Plus other than Star Wars?
I don't watch a lot, to be honest.
I know you read a lot because you're that person.
My family, what show are you watching right now? They're really into it. I know, I'm sorry. I just started reading. Yeah, and now it takes my life, but that's okay. The family's watching Turner and Hooch.
Oh,
they're into that.
Is it good? Do they like it?
They love it. They love it. I have not watched a single episode, but they count down to the next one.
You're familiar with that? Right? No, but you know what that's from, right? That movie?
I mean, not really.
Like Tom Hanks before he was famous, before he was Tom Hanks, and he had a slobbery dog. I mean, that was. When we were kids, that was a TV show or a movie.
But I think it's a big mystery type show.
It's a weird thing to take and make a new series based on that movie.
Yeah.
It seems odd, but I've not watched it. We've been watching Doug the Duck. Hello. Maggie.
Maggie, are you saying hi?
Oh,
did you know we were talking about dogs?
The Doug the Dog series. It's a short.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's the best. It's just magical. The little the characters from Up, the old man from Up and Doug move in together.
Oh, have you seen it?
They're only 5 minutes long, I think. There's 5 of them, 6, and they're short. They really they get to the plot real quick. In the opening credits, the Zeppelin from Up is parked out front and says blimp for sale. And so they sell that. That's how they got back, I guess. And then they use that money to buy a house together. And then they have adventures, short adventures.
Funny.
My dog watches it and she freaks out. Oldie can't deal with it. She gets so much anxiety. There's a squirrel, squirrel. There's an actual squirrel in it in the backyard. It's one of the characters. And she can't deal because that dog can't get the squirrel.
Oh my gosh.
And the squirrel lands on his head at one point. And she's just like, kill it.
What are you doing?
She spins around and stands and whines. She can't deal with that show. It's weird. I've never seen a dog watch TV, but she loves it. 2 thumbs up from Goldie.
Maggie likes Secret Life of Pets.
Well, that's not. Is that on there now?
I know it's not.
It might be on there. It's a Fox thing. It might be. They're showing weird things like the Peanuts movie and different things like that have come up.
Huh.
So Secret Life of Pets.
So what about the you've watched some of the ones that you pay for, right?
We watched Cruella for free. We waited, and we watched Mulan for free. We waited. We were just like, we got this. We can wait you out. We can sit here all day. We got nothing going on. Disney.
I feel like you paid for something.
We watched Jungle Cruise this weekend. I'm losing you.
Did you like it?
I loved it. It was good. So
I loved it too.
They use a bunch of jokes, from the ride.
I know.
And then between that and then there's that scene where we met a tribe and the leader was a woman and everybody went boo and they stood up and booed. And Patty looked at me and said, "You could have written this movie." I was like, "I could."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that movie was like you.
Yeah, you know what? So some of these things a little the source material is a little light for a whole movie. And I thought Jungle Cruise, I guess it's cool. They're cruising in the jungle, but I
thought the same thing.
What a story. They really stretched out that to 2.5 hours. It was weird, but it was good.
Yeah.
And they're going to make another one because it made all the money. So
I heard that.
Yeah. And it wasn't we really
enjoyed that.
It was PG-13 and so was Cruella, but they weren't there wasn't any swearing and there wasn't a bunch of sexy time. It was just Cruella was dark.
Just
Jungle
dark.
Cruise, like Snakeface, that guy. It was real it was unsettling.
Right.
Cruella begins, no spoilers, but just an unforeseen death at the very beginning, and you're what?
Yeah.
You can't believe it. Yeah,
But then the rest of it's not bad.
It's good. There's some more rough stuff in it, but it's kind of dark, just moody, dark. I don't know. Billie Eilish has her own special on Disney Plus, which I don't understand these music things they're doing, but she's a real dark weirdo, so maybe that's.
Yeah, she is dark.
Yeah, but now she has blonde hair, so it's different. It's her. Yeah, I was like, who is? Oh, get out of here, Billie. This is every. I might be an old man, but this is every. She just kind of sings like this. In a song like this, but I'm whispering the song. People are like, "Oh, this is amazing." I'm like, "No, she's whispering the beat, and it's garbage." Addie was playing with my uncle's iPhone this weekend, and he has an auto-tune thing on there. And she was hitting the thing to make a beat on the table while she recorded herself talking.
Aww.
It sounded no different than the new Kanye West album. It was very strange. I was like, I guess this is music now, and I'm old. So a lot of can you hear my stupid dog barking?
I hear. Which one is it?
I think that's the stupid one. That's Butters, I'm pretty sure. Butters! Yep, that's Butters. Sorry about that, everybody. I was yelling at my dogs. It'll all be cut out. Hopefully. So, but that was, both of my children watched both of those movies, and Lily's 6, and she could deal with it.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So, we watched it outside. Have you had an outside movie yet this fall?
We haven't yet.
Well,
I am a big fan of outdoor movies, but my family's not so much. They'd rather be inside on the comfy couch.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing?
I can't remember. I have a different setup this week, and it's not going well. All right, so I found that I have this. It's a little projector.
Oh, fun.
And we watched Jungle Cruise outside on the garage. We projected on the garage door.
Oh.
And we had a fire pit with s'mores, and it was a magical evening.
Awesome. How did you hook that up to the Disney Plus?
I plugged an iPad into that. And I plugged the audio from the iPad into a sound bar, It was quite a rigged up setting, but it was amazing.
That is awesome.
It was a magical fall evening. We were ready.
Was your internet good out there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was surprisingly. It worked surprisingly well. But then to get over the scariness of the snake face and the bee person, we had to watch a couple episodes of Bluey. But your kids are probably too old for Bluey, aren't they?
I don't know anything about
Oh.
Bluey. I hear my kindergartners talk about it a lot.
It's the best show. It makes you should have more kids just so they can enjoy Bluey because it's so good. Addie likes it, and she's going to be 10. But I think she said it's because the dad reminds me of her, or the dad reminds her of me because he's ridiculous. But it's just a good show. And so many of the kid shows were just insufferable when they were little. I mean, I look back and I kind of miss Mickey Mouse Clubhouse because Addie loved Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. And
that was a good one.
No, I didn't like it.
Oh, I liked it.
When we watched it, I'm like, Pete. Oh, he stopped smoking, and now he's just some kind of con artist. They're like, we got to get to the river, and he's like, oh, set up my card table, and you've got to pay me some money. And they're not like, we could just walk 3 or 4 feet to the left and walk around. Nope, we've got to pay Pete. We got to get some scheme.
Is that on Disney Plus?
Oh, it is.
Is
yeah.
that on Disney Plus?
It is. Yeah. Lily's watched a little bit, but Lily doesn't. She's out in the hall. Lily doesn't like to learn.
Oh.
That's why MTI kindergarten is hard because she doesn't care. So it's very difficult. Where Addie is just Miss Grade Grubber, Lily is just like, this is boring and stupid. And I'm like, it kind of is. I don't know what to tell you. I don't. It'll be fine. We'll figure it out. But I'm not going to figure it out because I've learned all I'm going to learn. Let's go on. Have you seen any of the National Geographic shows on there?
Yes.
You say yes. You don't have to impress me if you haven't. You know.
No, we used to rent them back in the day. And so my guess is like we watched them.
You used to rent them from where? Like on video?
No, I don't know.
Like on Amazon?
We watched them before they were on Disney Plus.
You watch, like, what do you mean? Where did you watch? Like on National Geographic? You watched them on that channel?
Maybe at the movie theater.
That doesn't make any sense.
Are you talking about like the monkeys and whales and?
Well, that's. Well, those are animals that are featured probably in those shows.
Well, you know how Disney did those animal movies,
like chimpanzee and flamingos and all those things,
like birds, and they would follow a flock of birds. And then there was one on monkeys, and they followed that family of monkeys.
It was called Chimpanzees, wasn't it? I think. I don't know. You went to the theater and saw that?
And there was one called Cats, and they followed a family of lions. Yeah, I love those.
Wow. I feel better about my Premier Access Jungle Cruise after knowing that you paid full price to go to a theater to watch some cats walk around. That's so funny. No, we haven't watched any of those shows. There's a really good show with Jeff Goldblum where he does stuff. National Geographic's real weird now. It's not just animals. Some of it's not animal. I don't know what they're doing over there. But since it's free, it's fine.
Like national parks or?
Well, this one, Jeff Goldblum just goes around and does things. And he just does things as his weird, awkward self. And he's like, oh, we're selling sneakers. And he's doing, a lot of what is those?
Really?
Sneakers. Yeah. He's basically the character that he is in all the movies in real life. It's very strange. Or he's learning about coffee, and he's going to different places and drinking coffee. And they're like people out like in Western things where they just make it on like the range, out in the middle of the desert, or the frontier. It's odd to watch him because he's got his like fancy glasses and his hair all fancy and his clothes all fancy, and he's just fancy. And then the cowboys are
National Geographic.
Yeah, it's on that thing. It's good though. Jeff Goldblum just goes and does stuff, and follow that guy with a camera. He's interested. So I haven't seen any animal things, but it sounds.
I like
like Microcosm, like those things. Like we used to watch those things when that was like
And
a
I think
Disney.
we watched the Oceans one.
Oh yeah. Some of those things we've seen back in the day, but we don't gather that far over. But it's free. It's part of your $8 a month, Jenna. You got to get over there and check it out.
It is amazing.
Do you have, I started trying to watch Pinocchio. So now actually to the part of the Disney Square, have you seen any of these movies in a long time? The classic?
Yes.
Like what? What have you watched lately? Or in the last year?
In the last year?
Yeah. How about in the last year and a half since anything got shut down? Have you watched any classic Disney movie? Anything pre Little Mermaid?
Probably not.
Yeah, because
I'm kind of boring.
oh, it's these shows.
I never was a fan of Pinocchio.
So that's one that didn't come up last week. Disney has never made a live action Pinocchio. Jenna, you froze up?
I've heard it's coming.
Oh, who do you think will play Pinocchio?
You.
Because I'm a liar? That's not nice.
No, I don't know. I did see an advertisement of them making one. I thought, it was Tim Burton. It was a Tim Burton. So it's going to be like creepy,
I don't like Tim Burton.
Kind of is, anyways.
There's a hot take.
I know you're not a Tim Burton fan.
Because his movies are terrible. I'll say it. Especially Nightmare Before Christmas. Who wants to say something about that? Because that movie's awful, and you all are trash if you think it's
thankfully
good.
He doesn't listen to our podcast. So.
I'm talking about all the people out there who, the 15, 20 people who do listen. They are that movie. I don't understand. That movie is just like a Hot Topic T-shirt set to music. It's not a good. And it's my favorite time of the year, all encompassed. Halloween to Christmas. I was so excited. I didn't get to see it until the last couple of years. And I watched it, and that movie is awful. It's just awful. There's nothing good about it, and I hate it. Yeah. All of his movies.
So you're not going to like the Pinocchio?
Probably not. I don't think he's good. I don't think Tim Burton knows what he's doing.
What was that other new one he came out with?
He did Dumbo.
Dumbo. Right.
He did. He made Willy Wonka, and he made Alice in Wonderland for Disney.
Oh yeah, Alice in Wonderland. That was good. I liked that.
I didn't see it because yuck. I don't know. I see Tim Burton's ... and I'm like, no. You got to redo Frankenweenie. Have you seen that? Like Frankenstein with the wiener dog?
Yeah.
He made that, I guess, when he was poor, and then they let him redo it with money because both versions are on Disney Plus, I think.
Oh, interesting.
But man, those movies, I don't like any of his. Like, have you seen Edward Scissorhands?
I mean, years ago.
Yeah, I didn't like. So there was a time where I was the movie guy to people for some reason, and I don't know why. They're like, "Oh, Paul's the movie guy." They're like, "Oh, do you like that?" I haven't seen it. "Oh, but do you like that?" No, it wouldn't. Well, I thought you'd love that. And I would always say, "Why? Why would you think I would love this?" Well, because you're the movie guy. And then I'd watch it and go, "This movie's terrible." No, wow. I don't understand. No, you thought you love Edward Scissorhands, and I'm like, "Well, you're wrong. It's terrible. Conceptually, it's interesting. It's not a good movie." Corpse Bride. I mean, he's just I don't know. I don't like any of his movies.
So, like the imagery or the story, or
I think the imagery is how he gets away with it because artistically, like he's got a different eye for things than most people do, and I can appreciate that.
Right. Maybe that's why people think you like it.
The stories are all dumb, and people are like, "Well, the stories it's all about an outcast who's not accepted by," and then that's kind of all of his stories are that way, like from the outcast point of view, because they say he's like that. It doesn't make it a good movie. I don't care. It's kind of dumb. I don't know. I don't love him, but anyway, he also made the Batman movies that were just awful too, that people loved when we were kids with Michael Keaton.
He did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's why I think that he got to make a bunch of these movies because those made a lot of money.
Right.
At least the first one did. But
Yeah.
those movies, I saw those. I had not seen those until like 5 years ago, and those were all real bad too. Just bad movies. I don't. Danny DeVito is like the penguin with the fish hands. It's very strange. But I had something else on here. So you have not done a premiere access? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, we did Jungle Cruise.
Oh, you did do that. Okay.
We did do Jungle Cruise, and we did I think Aladdin.
Was that a premiere access?
I think so.
That doesn't sound right. I think Mulan was. I think Aladdin wasn't even out when.
We might have done Mulan.
Yeah, which was good. It was good.
Yeah,
I'll give it up.
It was okay for me.
I like the cartoon better, but I had not seen the cartoon until after I saw that one, and I thought these are both surprisingly good. So
Austin liked it more than we did.
Well, we have this thing where we do the wait, like we were just saying, the waiting game, because here it's $30, which honestly is kind of egregious. $30 on top of your monthly thing. But the last time the four of us went to the movies, it was $75 with popcorn and stuff. Yeah, yes. So $30 not too terrible.
Right.
And but Jungle Cruise we loved, but you get on there and it says like when this movie will be available for free. And Jungle Cruise wasn't till November. I was like, we really want to watch it. But this new, have you heard of the new Marvel movie that's in theaters? The 10 Rings, and then an Asian name that I don't want to guess at because it'll be.
Oh, I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, it's supposed to be amazing. And that guy, he is he used to be a stock photo model. Do you know what that is? Like if you want to use like a stock photo of someone like typing on a computer or smiling or something, and you can like buy those images. He used to do that. So he was posting images of him like pointing at a computer and smiling from his like past, saying like, look at that box office and like things like that, because
funny.
He's apparently like a real good guy, the guy that's the star.
Okay.
But that movie made more it made more money than any other movie Labor Day weekend ever.
In the theater.
Yeah. And it's a brand new movie. Like it's never, or a brand new character.
Whole new idea. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's going to be out in like a month on Disney Plus for free.
And it's part of Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not like from a comic book. It's from just Marvel Studios, I think.
That's cool.
I'm sorry, people, if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case because it was like a big deal. But it's only going to be 6 weeks until from the movie premiering to being on Disney Plus for free. Because it didn't come on Premiere Access. It just went straight to theaters. And I think they said, there was like a 45-day window. And I was like, oh, I can wait that out. 45 days. Mm-hmm. I got this. But then there's all that trouble because of the Black Widow lawsuit.
Yeah.
I don't know what Premiere Access is going to look like in the future, but
I don't either, because surely that can't make as much money as a box office.
Well, I'm sure Tim Burton's probably not listening, and Scarlett Johansson, if you're listening, that movie was not going to do well anyway because it's a stupid character and you're not a good actress. So you can get so far being hot, and I say good for you. Get that money, girl, but I'm pretty sure she got paid $20 million like up front, something like that for that movie. And then part of the box office.
And that wasn't enough.
But people were like, well, she's fighting on principle. And I'm like, kind of, but she has a nothing character in these Avengers movies. Spoiler, she's not around if they're making new ones, if you've been keeping up with the Avengers and the different movies. So she doesn't have any superpowers. She just wears leather and shoots guns, which, I mean, if I'm 13, I'm definitely like, because at 40, I'm still like, but it's not, it's not compelling movies. It wasn't going to do great. And I feel like I have not heard how many, like what the numbers were on Premiere Access, but she should probably get a cut of that too for, how that opens. But I mean, I don't think anybody was buying Disney Plus to go, I need to see this Black Widow movie.
Right.
The 8th character of Avengers. I want to know her backstory, even though it's irrelevant now because. So.
I'm curious. Now that you say that, I'm curious as to what the majority of people are buying Disney Plus for. Are they buying it for the old stuff? Are they buying it for cartoons for their kids? Are they
Well,
for the new
I
stuff?
can answer. I can answer
Tell
that
me.
question. So, for people who haven't been paying attention, my kindergartner is home this week because her teacher has COVID, and they've all been exposed, so they're all home,
Yikes.
positive or negative, for 10 days. And right now she's negative. We took a test on like the 5 days, after exposure, nothing, and she's no symptoms. She's fine.
That's
My
incredible.
5th grader just went back to school today after the same thing happened to her. $8 a month to put like stuff in front of those people so they will just leave you alone. Now, Jenna is a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
She's a learner.
I am a learner.
She is a Disney planner. She has a lot going on. I work from home and I do this kind of stuff. If I didn't have this kind of job, I don't know what regular people are doing. If they have to work from home or they have to take off 2 weeks to watch kids when they're sick.
Right.
And I think we talked about in the past the reason you got rid of Netflix. It was a little racy.
Yeah, it was getting there for us.
Like sometimes you just can't stare at your kids. And as much as I'd like to say we've never just said, hey, why don't you watch a show? And Daddy's going to just try not to go drink. It happens. So, and actually that's weird because I don't really like to drink. I don't.
I was going to say that's not really
That's not
you.
really me at all. But when people do because of their kids, I understand because I love them to death. But sometimes they're closer to death than they know. So being able to be like, hey, guess what's on TV? You're like Mickey Mouse Club.
Mickey Mouse.
And you can watch. It's educational.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something else new that came out that's real educational, look like fun. Something with dinosaurs. There's a lot of good Disney Junior shows. I'd say it's worth $8 a month for Disney Junior. If you have little kids.
We used to love Disney Junior. Oh my goodness.
Addie loved it. Lily didn't love it as much because she watched what Addie watched, and Addie kind of bumped up to that next level, and so Lily followed her. But like they love Gravity Falls. It's real weird, but they both really like that. But just being able to sit them like saying, hey, here's a show that we know is not going to warp your mind too much. Because you put the kids filter on. So there's a lot of Disney movies that aren't on there that Disney owns because Disney owns everything.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've kept up. They own it all. So
it's crazy.
Anything higher than PG-13 they don't show, but we put it on the kids' profile and there's nothing. So there's nothing bad on any of those shows because there can't be. It's like
So
TV.
You can filter for the kids on Disney.
So Disney Plus in general, it doesn't get higher than PG-13.
Gotcha.
But then you can put it on a kid's profile and it's nothing. Like there's no Cruellas, there's no I don't think there's even PG. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
And as much as a lot of people got mad about it, people were real up in arms about censorship on there, which is weird because like when those movies came out, like Adventures in Babysitting.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that? So that came out when we were little and it was PG. But there's an F word in it, and because then it was like GPGR, so they're like this movie's not hard enough to be an R.
Oh, okay.
But there's nothing else other than PG. So like when we were kids, PG, when we used to go out there and play in the dirt and ride our bikes to our friend's house and just stay out all night, when we were living out Stranger Things in real life, like PG movies were no joke. So. They censored that out. Like it's still PG, but Disney Plus was just like, cut that out. And they cut out that out of Hamilton. And then there's a mermaid movie, I think with Tom Hanks. Splash. Does that sound right? Splash. Yes. Okay. Actually, fun fact. But so there's a scene in the movie Splash. We have really like gone off the rails into censorship, but it's really funny. So the movie Splash has. Hey, hang on real quick. It's a mermaid movie, and her bare butt is in it for like 2 seconds because she's a mermaid. And they digitally added hair, like her hair, to make it longer, so her butt, like they've made it to where your kids aren't terribly abused. Hey, Lily, what's up? Oh, you can definitely have a hug. Come on.
Oh,
The door's not locked. Here comes Lily. Oh,
Hi, Lily.
wow, she's
Princess
very
Lily.
dolled up. She's got some earrings on. Come here. Oh, this is, Jenna.
Hi.
Yes, she is.
You look so pretty.
What do you say? You don't say, look at my dirty feet and ask your dad what is all over your feet. Well, that would look like you might have drawn it with marker.
I don't know.
It just looks like that. There's a lot of little marker marks.
That was not me.
It wasn't you? Okay, well, who knew? Sorry, Butters.
It was her classmate.
All right, you can beat it. But I love you, and I'll be done in a minute. I know. Oh, you're very sweet. But hey, when I'm done, guess what?
What?
We got to finish our schoolwork.
Oh, yep.
You can get booed. It's been being booed. So, oh, what is this?
I got the picture I slided to your dog.
Oh, thank you. What did you draw a picture of?
And I could say,
Oh, that is awesome. It's a rocket ship.
That's really good.
Oh, thank you, babe.
Oh.
He's a good kid. That's what this artwork is, all Lily on this side in the back. So, all right. Adios, muchacha. Bye-bye. Okay. I keep going. So close. Okay. He's real sweet. But it's only Monday. It's only Monday, Jenna. I don't know what I'm going to
Okay. It's okay.
I don't know what I'm going to do for the whole week. So, anyway, censorship, terrible. I don't know. Anyway, Disney, the reason people buy Disney Plus is because it's good for, you can put your kids in front of it. I think also that Netflix has about 6 million shows, and how I made fun of Amazon earlier being like the bargain bin. For every show that you've heard of on Netflix, there's like 75 that are just terrible that they've made or they've bought. And you're like, what are these shows?
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand. I used to want to make movies and do things like that, but then I was on a set of like a locally made independent movie. I do not. I feel like people, and I know some talented people that do that. I don't know if it's their full-time job or they do it on the side for like local movies that get made. But I think you spent so much time and effort, and like people that do costuming and makeup, you spend all this time, all these days, and you've got to know this is terrible, right? Like you're not sitting there day to day and going, this movie, it's going to be good. You can't be. And that's like so many of these Netflix movies, just millions of dollars people have spent, and just people's careers to make these movies. And it's like, oh, but Disney, the quality is very high across the board. There's really not there's not like a low quality thing on there. I don't know. So the quality and the price, as much as people are upset about some of the other Disney prices that seem to be ticking upwards. And I'm sure one day when Disney Plus is like $35 and they're like, ha ha,
right,
gotcha. Then we'll re-record this and go, boo. But right now, and I think we looked it up. We were talking this weekend about the shows on there. And I want to say conservatively, they have 100 million subscribers or something like that. I think that it was, I could probably look it up and it'd be easier, but they're making a good amount of money for what.
Well, and I think that's part of what really sustained them during shutdown.
116 million subscribers, it says, at $8 a piece. So, that's almost $900 million a month.
Wow.
That's almost $1 billion a month.
Wow.
So Disney's doing okay. They're a big place, but they did spend a lot of money on Star Wars and Marvel and Fox, I'm sure, whatever else they're buying, but they're making it back pretty quick. I wouldn't be crying too much for, anything they're doing.
Yeah, I think it saved them, really.
Yeah. And it saved, let's face it saved a lot of us too, sitting at home. Once Tiger King was over, we had nothing going on. So that Disney really brought it back along. So, well, Jenna, I'm glad we got together to yell about Disney Plus. Is there anything on there that you think that people should check out that maybe A hidden gem or anything fun like that?
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
I really like the High School Musical.
Oh my gosh. All right. You know what? We'll just cut that out. You like all of them or just the first one?
All of them.
You forget because now how middle-aged women swoon over him, but like Zac Efron started out, in those movies, and now he's like a hot little guy. But then he sings, and you're like, oh yeah, he was High School Musical guy. Now he's, You strike me as like a Sound of Music, like those kind of movies.
Yeah, that too.
Those are all on there. Like,
Sound of Music.
Yeah, like that kind of Mary Poppins, like all the old. You got it.
What is it? Bed Knobs and Broomsticks on there?
I think so. You know what? I have not seen Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. And what is that about? Any idea? But we used to rent it.
It was one of my favorites as a kid. I mean, they fly around on their bed. Remember?
No, I don't remember. I remember.
Think it's similar to Mary Poppins.
I'm pretty sure it's on there only because we were watching. I was trying to make the girls watch Murder, She Wrote this weekend on Peacock, and they were going, "What is this?" And I was like, "Well, this nice old lady writes murder mysteries, and then she visits the city, and then people start showing up dead, and we don't know why." But this show was on. I'm sure 200 people died in her presence over the span of 8 years or whatever, and I would just stop inviting her to parties, to be fair. But that movie came out in like the 70s, didn't it? Bed Knobs and Broomsticks?
Probably.
I feel like she was old then.
She's always been old.
Like Maggie Smith from Harry Potter and Distract. I mean, these people are just born old because they're both still alive.
Yeah.
Maggie Smith's still making movies, still doing great. I don't know what Lansbury's up to, but she was the teapot, she's very Disney.
She shows up every now and then.
No, well, you know what? We might have to check out Bed Knobs and Broomsticks because I do remember that. And I remember because the dumb name. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't tell you what the movie's about.
Right.
Was she a witch? I feel like there were lots of witches back then too.
I don't know. There was just some magic, and they flew around on their bed.
Well, who does magic? Witches. 1971.
Go underwater too.
It was from 1971. And let's see. I got it because I'm pretty great at this. They bought it when they couldn't get the film rights to Mary Poppins. How about that?
Really?
Yeah, they bought it in the 60s. And then when they got Mary Poppins, they were like, never mind. We've got this better version of this story.
Interesting. Okay.
I will tell you, though,
very similar.
This is a creepy. This is. I don't know about this. Hang on. I think I can share. I think I can share a screen. I might not be that old that I'm not able to do this. Let's see. And then we'll go. Then I'll let you go. How do I?
We're from all over the place today.
Share. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, cool.
Man sliding down from a bear on a thing, and I guess that's Angela Lansbury in bed, not sitting like a child's movie should have a woman sitting in bed with 3 little British children. I mean, this movie, I don't know. I do not know what we're doing.
You'll be witched and you'll be dazzled. Interesting.
That is a movie poster for $125 for this movie poster.
Oh my.
See, get it, bewitched and bedazzled. Huh? See? It's not just Jungle Cruise with the bad jokes. So bewitched, bedazzled. That's not where you want to be headed. And Addie just put her hands in her head and she was like, what is this movie that? So.
I'm glad you all watched it.
Yeah. Well, I would say my hidden gem is not really a hidden gem, but I would go through, if you're anywhere near my age, which is almost 40, the complete X-Men animated series from our childhood is on there when they bought Fox. And it is not great, but it was magical as a child. I used to go get personal pan pizzas at Pizza Hut. You get little mini comics. if I panned over to the shelf, there's like a box of old X-Men toys in there too. So it's not something you think of Disney when you think of old X-Men cartoons, but I guess they'll probably end up making an X-Men movie eventually because they own the rights to all that now, Fox and Marvel. So, but if they don't have Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine, I don't know. He's just such a. We were talking. Well, one more thing. We were talking about this with our neighbor, but you love Greatest Showman, right?
Love it.
That's Wolverine singing all those songs. It's weird, isn't it?
It's very weird.
Yeah. I mean, he's very talented. And Zac Efron, look, it all comes right back around. He's in that movie.
I know.
Terrible movie. Terrible movie, but the music's good.
No, it's not.
No, that movie stunk. There were no stakes in that movie. I was watching it and I kept waiting for the conflict, and I'm like, there's nothing going on. He's just singing about his life.
Oh.
Even when they burned down the circus, spoilers if you're still watching this and you haven't seen Greatest Showman, but I was like, no one seems to be in too much danger. Hugh Jackman's very good, and I guess Zac Efron's very good, but and once again we've come to the end and just like a screeching halt, like it's here and then all of a sudden it's just here at the end. So we'll just play that music and we'll get out of here. So Jenna, you go learn, you go teach. Oh, bye Maggie. You're marketing. Oh.
Hey guys, it's Jenna, and if you would like to plan a magical vacation for your family, contact me for a free quote by clicking the link below, or go to visitmickey.com and tell them that Jenna or Paul or the Park Hopper Show sent you. Thanks.